What was the first movie you saw in the theater?
Mm-hmm. Ever?
Yeah.
I guess it would have to be the first Star Wars, which we now call A New Hope, right? You know, but I don't know that it had really all that much impact on me. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, you know, but I mean, it was like two.
I don't think I made it to the first one, but I think I went to The Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I remember my first early memory of going to the movies was Chariots of Fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Right Stuff. And then I don't know where all this fits in chronologically, but then we went and saw Trading Places.
I was about to say, it's like what a strange triumvirate of films to take like a 4-year-old to, because it's like how old we would have been.
Right, yeah.
In that period.
And in Trading Places, there's a spot where Eddie Murphy's throwing a party, and there's like some chick running around with the other top on. I remember my dad being like, "Oh, you want to go get some popcorn now?" Like, I remember.
No.
No. No, I don't actually.
I remember my parents would, I don't know if it reflected what their tastes were at the time, you know, or what they thought mine were. But the first movie going experiences to go see all like action movies and stuff like that, you know, Indiana Jones and whatnot. And I remember going to see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with, I guess, my parents, but I remember distinctly my dad. And there's a goodly amount of violence in that film for a PG film. This was PG-13 or whatever.
Everybody hand wringing.
Right, yeah. But I mean, that's the one where the dude gets his heart ripped out, and you know, and like children are being tortured and stuff like that. You know, but
Soon Kalimal will rule the world.
Right, yeah. And my dad, like, I guess he realized that this was going to be a darker, more violent film. Too late, you know, because we're in there already. And he would cover my eyes, you know, during some of the really more brutal parts, or what he perceived to be a more brutal part. And it had way more of a scarring effect because all I heard was, you know, bone splitting and all this sort of thing. And it wasn't until I saw it later on VHS that the stuff that he covered my eyes
was cartoonishly.
Well, yeah, I was like, I mean, it's violent, but I mean, I could deal with that. But like the image that was in my head while my dad's handled it was way more horrifying than what was actually on the screen, just based on my own imagination. You know, that some of you may be familiar with, who've read any of my books. You know, combined with, you know, the sound, you know, the soundtrack to the film was like really disturbing. Like after the movie, I was like, man, real well, you know, because of what I thought the movie was, since I missed so much of it. You know, so thanks, Dad. You know, that was helpful, I suppose. Yeah.
I was just going through, for some reason, I've kept a box, 2 boxes of like all of the love letters, quasi love letters, faux love letters that ever received. Going back to like my time in elementary school, and I found a love letter asking if I would go to a movie with this young lady who was, I don't know, we couldn't have been more than 11 or 12, and it's like my mom will take us to the theater to a movie called Can't Buy Me Love that I don't even remember. I don't remember anything about it except that there was a flamingo in it. Is all I remember.
I think it was Patrick Dempsey, maybe.
Might have been.
Yeah. Huh. So you went on a movie date at like 11, huh?
Yeah. And it used to be that.
Well played.
Yeah, thanks, man. There were all sorts of awkward moments, stretchy years there from about 11 to, how old are we now? 36?
Yeah, whatever.
It's been one long, strange, awkward trip. And I've got 2 boxes full of letters to prove just how strange and awkward it is. And some of them, with that box of letters, what's been sort of interesting is that there are some in there that are not signed.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who it's from. And then there are some that are signed by people like, who are you? And I don't have an excuse like, well, I was getting drunk all the time, and like that's why I don't remember these people's names. Like I just
don't remember.
They apparently weren't noteworthy. Wow. And there was one that had a return address, and I kind of want, like, it's probably 15 or 20 years, maybe even longer. But that thing's been sitting there. I kind of want to write a letter and be like, dear whoever you are, do you remember me? Because I don't remember you. But clearly you were sort of smitten at one point.
Right. And you're probably married with like 5 kids.
Right.
And like, totally unwelcome.
Right, yeah.
Letter from their distant past.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, do that.
Yeah.
That
won't ruin reality show.
That won't ruin anybody's day. What the hell's the meaning of this?
Yeah.
Thankfully, anything I had like that probably destroyed it.
That's probably a good move.
Water damage or something.
Yeah, but you got the wife and kid too, so it's definitely like there's never gonna be a time where you're gonna like pull the boys aside and be like, oh, you missed out on these days, and have that heirloom talk.
Right.
And probably be ill-advised.
Right.
I'm still in the homely spinster mode of like, this doily used to hold a Diet Coke can.
The Miss Havisham phase of your bachelorhood.
The lieutenant governor left a Sprite can half filled right here. I drank the rest, kept the can. I'm famous.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, hold on to that stuff.